Your bills are paid. The people around you care about you. On paper, your life is functioning perfectly. Yet a hollow sensation persists in the center of your chest. You find yourself watching your own experiences from behind glass, physically present, but entirely unreachable. You might struggle to explain this to others because it lacks a clear tragedy. This specific weight remains even when you are genuinely grateful for what you have. It persists independently of grief, loneliness, or the clinical markers of depression. Psychologists describe this as existential emptiness. It marks a state of profound disconnection, where the version of yourself navigating the world has lost contact with the authentic desires and values that exist beneath the surface noise. Most of us follow a highly specific blueprint for a good life. We secure the career that makes sense on paper, sign the lease for the right apartment, and maintain the relationships that earn social approval. We reach these milestones expecting a specific internal shift, a sense of arrival. Instead, the feeling of accomplishment arrives briefly and then evaporates, leaving you standing in the middle of a life that looks exactly how you planned but feels entirely foreign. The distance between your external success and your internal experience serves as a direct signal. It indicates that you have spent years building a world for the benefit of outside observers while neglecting to ask what you actually required on the inside. Modern life is engineered for maximum efficiency. The routine of waking, working, scrolling, and sleeping becomes so automatic that weeks blur into a single indistinguishable block of time. This diagram illustrates the biological response to predictability. When the environment offers no genuine movement, the nervous system conserves energy by reducing sensory sensitivity. As variance drops, the body enters a state of numbness, a dormant state where even pleasant experiences fail to register. This lack of feeling is an expected biological adaptation to an environment that has become too static. Your body is operating on survival logic, prioritizing energy conservation over emotional engagement. This internal deadening follows the choice to optimize a life for efficiency and routine, rather than for genuine, varied experience. Social conditioning often teaches us to categorize emotions as inconveniences. We learn to push down sadness or silence anger to maintain a pleasant exterior. We become experts at maintaining a perfectly neutral mask. The problem with this internal barrier is that it cannot distinguish between good and bad emotions. As the diagram shows, the same wall built to keep out the darkness also inadvertently blocks the light. When you shut down the capacity to feel pain or fear, you also shut down the capacity to feel joy and enthusiasm. The emptiness you feel is the result of that wall working exactly as you designed it. We often build our entire lives around external expectations, choosing the safe career or the acceptable partner. We chase the nods of approval from our parents or peers while ignoring the internal cost. A quiet internal voice continues to ask if this is the life you actually want. Silencing that voice every day requires a massive amount of psychological energy, leading to a specific soul-level exhaustion. Chronic emptiness represents the fatigue of maintaining these emotional walls and performing a version of yourself that doesn't actually exist. That hollow feeling carries specific data. It points toward the exact parts of your life that you have been ignoring or performing. It asks you to look at the gap between who you are and who you are pretending to be. Most people try to muffle this signal through constant movement, scrolling, overworking, or staying busy enough to outrun the quiet. That a signal that is muffled only returns with more intensity later. The resolution begins with 5 minutes of absolute, undistracted quiet. You sit with the hollowness and ask it what it is trying to show you and what you have been avoiding to keep the peace in your external life. The answers that arise during this time are often highly inconvenient. They might suggest that your current career path is hollow or that your relationship lacks real honesty. These truths require uncomfortable, tangible changes. Facing these uncomfortable facts forces you to be present in your own life again. Numbness fades only when you stop negotiating with the truth and start acknowledging what is actually there. You must begin engaging in activities purely for the feeling of being alive. This means choosing a hobby, a walk, or a conversation solely because it lights something up in you, with no regard for whether it is productive or useful to anyone else. By setting aside the phone and the distractions, you allow those long suppressed feelings of sadness or longing to finally move through you. This process allows the emotional backlog to clear, making room for new sensations to register. As you stop running, a subtle shift occurs. You begin saying no to the obligations that drain you, and yes to the small things that feel real. You find that a conversation with a loved one actually reaches you, rather than bouncing off the glass. Reclaiming your life doesn't require a dramatic collapse of your external world. It is the process of finally choosing to inhabit the space you have already built, but with your full attention and honesty. By stripping away the performative noise and dropping the emotional walls, you uncover the person who was there all along. You move from simply functioning to actually being here, present, alive, and finally home.